All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So I could really only speak for myself here, but these Rodgers reports and rumors, they're getting crazy, right? I mean, it's gotten to the point to where we're hearing multiple reports come out about Rodgers in the same day that contradict each other. And, you know, as fans here, we've heard pretty much everything, even dating back before the Rodgers-McAfee interview. You know, the Jets are holding out. The Packers are holding out. The Jets have the leverage. No, Green Bay does. The 13th overall pick is what's holding this whole thing up. No. It's not the 13th pick. It's a 2025 future pick. It's the conditions that the Jets want, you know, depending on, you know, if Rodgers only plays one season, Woody's scared about trading a future first round pick with no sort of conditions on it. There's a mystery team involved for Aaron. So many different things. And admittedly, I went into this interview a little skeptical on what was going to be said about this whole thing. But anyway, it was Rob Demovsky, Green Bay Packers insider from ESPN on the Rich Eisen Show. And I wanted to kind of bullet point recap what he basically dove into. The first thing that he said, right, to kind of kick off the interview was from what he was hearing back at the league meetings, which was that the Green Bay Packers have presented the New York Jets with multiple offers here, and they're waiting on New York. They're the ones that are holding things up. Joe Douglas, right? It's, you know, we've contacted you multiple times. Here are multiple offers on the table for Aaron Rodgers. Are you going to make up your mind soon? And that's kind of where we're at. So I was thinking to myself, like, okay, at least we have somewhat of a roadmap, right? We have somewhat of an understanding on where this potential trade lies right now, right? Which is the Jets are considering multiple offers presented from the Green Bay Packers, and we're going to move forward, and it's probably going to get done at some point, which of course links up with the whole Joe Douglas at the WFAN fan event with Boomer Esiason, where he said, hey, Aaron Rodgers is coming. It makes sense. Like, you could start putting the pieces of the puzzle together. But then Demovsky says, but if you ask the Jets, they're probably telling you essentially the opposite, that they've offered multiple packages to Green Bay, and it's Green Bay holding things up. And at that point, like, in my head, I kind of threw my hands up like, man, back to square one. We get a little further into the interview, and then Demovsky does say that Brian Gutekunst, Packers GM, is not asking for the 13th overall pick. He's not asking for a first-round pick this year. Now, to me, this is really important here. Assuming what Demovsky is saying, what he's relaying here is 100% accurate, and the Green Bay Packers are not, in fact, asking for the 13th overall pick. This is, you know, to be fair, I never really felt like the Jets were going to deal the 13th pick, but if Green Bay's not even asking for it, it's like, okay, we can take a breather. We can really dive into the prospects that could be available with the 13th overall pick, right? As cool as the Aaron Rodgers news is, right, that he intends to play for the Jets, we're still not a complete team. We still have holes on the O-line. Personally, I do want that third safety behind Clark and Whitehead. Weak side linebacker is somewhat of an issue. Quan Alexander still on the free agency market. I would love to have him back first and foremost, but if the Jets want to maybe try to go after a guy like Trenton Simpson or something, like a linebacker that could fill that role from Clemson, then so be it, right? The point is, the Jets aren't a complete team right now, but if Green Bay isn't pushing the envelope saying we want 13, take it or leave it, at least the Jets are now fully operating their, scouting department. Everything is solely focused on selecting a player that will come in and fit what the Jets want to do with the 13th overall pick. That is huge. And because of this information here, Demovsky's prediction was that he said he could see it, the trade here happening on day 2 of the NFL draft, but before the start of the draft. Obviously, there's that full day. I believe rounds 2 and 3 kicks off at 7 p.m. Eastern. Have to double check on the times. But the idea, or the thinking here, is that the Jets and the Packers are fully aware a first round pick is not being talked about. It's not being negotiated for this draft. So let's just hit the draft. Jets pick at 13. Green Bay picks at 15. We'll settle that in. We'll lock those picks in. The next day, talks start picking up. They intensify, and we could see a potential Rodgers trade in the daytime at some point, or maybe, who knows, 30 minutes before the draft, an hour before the rounds 2 and 3 here. Maybe something like that happens, and then of course, Demovsky puts this a bit of a cliffhanger on it right at the end, where he said, if it does not happen before the draft, whether it's, today, tomorrow, round 1, round 2, whenever it is, if it does not happen before the draft, we could be talking about this until August 1st. And my stomach dropped a little bit when he said that, because I don't want it to drag on this long here. Let's get it done. We're not talking about a potential Russell Wilson trade where it's like, multiple first round picks, multiple players involved, and it's like a franchise. We're trading away like core pieces to go land Rodgers. We're talking about middle round picks here, conditional picks. I'm not saying rush in and make some stupid deal or completely cave and give Green Bay exactly what they want. But at the same time, at some point, the two teams have got to come to an agreement. And at the end of the day, it's the Jets that would be acquiring the star quarterback, not the other way around. Green Bay is fine rolling with Jordan Love. It's the Jets that if they don't land Rodgers, it's like, okay, what's going on? What's plan B? Worst case scenario is kind of the thinking on that. But anyway, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching. I know these Rodgers, again, reports and rumors are getting a little out of control here. So I really do appreciate you guys sticking around for it. So anyway, let me know your thoughts. And as always, go Jets.